The worst year for a lot of us for our mental as well as physical health. So joining us this morning is best-selling author, coach, and fitness expert, Lisa Goldenthal.
Hello and welcome. I'm Lisa G, your host. You're at the top of your game, yet the game is changing faster than ever. Strategies that got you here aren't the ones that'll keep you here. The pressure is relentless, and the fear of obsolescence looms large. That's why I'm here. Welcome to the new podcast series, Disrupted: How to Be Gritty and Unlock Performance. This is your chance where I sit down with today's tops in business, mindset, wellness, and success to help you master disruption and thrive.
Thanks for coming, and I'll see you soon.
Hello and welcome. I'm so excited today. I'm sitting here with the one, the only, Dr. Carolyn Stites, CEO and founder of VibraGenix and owner of ReGenX Wellness Spa, proud mother of two, health and fitness enthusiast, water and snow skier. Her mission is to create a paradigm to health and wellness by integrating cutting-edge technology that produces profound, positive results in some of my favorite topics. I got to tell you, I'm so excited about this interview. Longevity, pain relief, weight loss, and mental well-being, which is so crucial right now in the times we're living in.
Yes.
Her products are all frequency-based and work on the mind, body, and emotions. This is the founder of VibraGenix, my friend, Dr. Caroline Stites.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and share with all of your people.
This is a really special podcast because I think the world has changed since the pandemic.
Oh, for sure.
I want to know, why did you start the VibraGenix and the frequency medicine? What is the need that you see in our world today?
Well, to start with, for me to get here, I kind of had to go through a path. So I have kind of a global view of medicine. So I started out in traditional medicine. I was raised by doctors. All the women in my family were doctors, including my mom and my aunt. So they were huge influencers on me. And by the time I was 5, I wanted to be a doctor. By the time I was 12, I got to go in to see surgeries and deliveries and all kinds of things. So I was really saturated in the medical community. And I thought it was the answer to everything. You could cut out a tumor and you'd be healthy for life, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
No.
I mean,
no.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, but how the tumor got there in the first place is still an equation in your body, because we are the petri dish that developed that tumor in the first place.
Yeah.
So I was really enamored with traditional medicine until I finally realized that we have drugs and surgery with traditional medicine, and that's all we have.
Right.
So nothing to truly heal what's going on in the body. So I took a hard right. I became a naturopathic doctor instead of an ND. That path led me to taking a master's in nutrition, because I know nutrition is so important. You know that.
I know that.
Super critical.
I know that as the author of The Boss Weight Loss.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, super critical.
It's everything. It's not the only thing, but it's everything.
Yeah, it's super important factor. So then I get into practice and I find myself prescribing like handfuls of pills. Sure, they were natural, they were herbs, they were homeopathics, they were vitamins, they were minerals.
Right.
But it was still inundating the body with too much stuff, right? You're taking 50 supplements, 40 supplements, 20 supplements, whatever it is that you do, and I know a lot of you do this too.
I've been there.
Handfuls, 3 times a day.
You're not alone, people.
Yeah. What you have to realize is that everything that you put in your mouth has to be processed by the liver, right?
Right.
And it overloads the liver. The body can't deal with it. You can't even digest that many supplements at a time. So I got to thinking, okay, what is it that would really make a difference? And I started studying Eastern medicine, right? I became a Reiki master. I started digging into all the philosophies, and then I started studying quantum physics. And I came to this realization that we are frequency. We are this massive frequency field, right? Our smallest building block is not the cell. It's actually the atom. And what is the atom? It's a center of the atom is the nucleus. It has protons and neutrons. and electrons spinning at the speed of light. And guess what? That atom is 99.99999% space. And it's vibrating energy, and that's what you're made of. So if we are frequency, I thought, why aren't we using frequency medicine to treat the frequency field of the body?
Right.
So I started looking into that, and there was so much research out there done like for the last 80 years that hasn't been really incorporated into mainstream medicine. So I started incorporating it, and it changed everything about my practice. So then I thought, okay, I'm treating one person at a time. How do I make this so I can treat multiple people?
Right.
I had to create a piece of technology, and that's how the VibraGenix came into being.
Well, it works. That's why I wanted to talk to you. I mean, I have sat there and personally experienced the VibraGenix. I have worked out on it, and I've programmed it. And the green light and the red light I want to touch on a little bit too. But I'm telling you, getting to the root cause, I think,
It's huge.
going back to your origin story, is so huge, because that is a problem with modern medicine. It's like if you want to just put a Band-Aid on it, it's going to keep popping its ugly head again. So getting to the root cause of like, why did you have this cancer in the first place?
That's right. If you think about it like a tree, like you're a tree, and you have this root cause or this seed that grows into this tree, and you start developing all these symptoms, all these disorders, dysfunctions. They're like branches. So you go to a doctor and you get a tumor taken out. That's a branch cut off. But what happens is more branches grow, right? It's
Right.
a losing battle until you get to the root cause of why everything's going wrong in your body.
Yeah, the root cause of why it's all happening. So obviously we live in times that have really changed since the pandemic, and stress and mental health are such a problem. I know we've both experienced a lot of stress in our lives, and you guys are not alone. We've all been there. We've all been through disruption.
Yes.
And now that we've been disrupted, why is there a need for weight loss especially, and just generally feeling better? Because to me, moving here, I gained probably 5 pounds, and
That's
it
not
was
much.
and it was like you feel it in your belly, and it's the cortisol.
Right.
You know, the cortisol, and generally feeling stressed is bad for your health. I think
It is.
that is the root cause of many modern diseases that we're experiencing right now. So
For sure.
do you want to talk a little bit about weight loss and stress?
Sure, absolutely. So when you're under stress, I mean, you can have the healthiest life possible. You can be an athlete like you, and you can eat everything correctly. And if your cortisol levels and your stress is too high for too long, you will develop disorder and disease in your body. It will take time, but I am the queen of that, if you want to hear a personal story. So
Yes.
I allowed really high stress from work and life situations that I didn't change, and it eventually, last year, I had 2 TIAs. So those are transient ischemic attacks. They're little, it's like mini strokes, and they both took out my speech, and they happened about 6 weeks apart. And it was
my
a
gosh.
huge wake-up call for me to lower my stress level and really take care of those stressors in my life and eliminate them, because you can do everything right and still end up with a disorder, dysfunction, or disease.
Well, it's a testament to your VibraGenix machine that you created, that you can speak to us right now perfectly.
It is. Actually, I believe that VibraGenix, at least for me, is a frequency medicine cabinet. But I never thought of it for emergency medicine. But the first thing I did was go to the machine and set the
Yes.
stroke recovery frequencies, the DNA repair, the stress relief, anxiety, and I got over it much quicker than, in fact, by the second time I had one, I had the formula so dialed in that it was an hour and 20 minutes before I had my speech back and was feeling okay.
Well, it really shows that you're healthy, and we both suffered a lot of stress. I mean, obviously, like with living in LA forever, moving here to Washington State, I didn't know anyone. I'm like, where are you going to get your nails done and your hair done? And just the little things you don't even think about, and feeling alone, like lonely, I think, right at first, until like people were nice enough to introduce me to the neighbors, this and that.
Right.
But basically, I can feel the difference. Like since I've been coming to the ReGenX Center here in Tri-Cities, Washington, and I want to talk about weight loss, because a lot of people are suffering from illnesses, mental health, and weight loss. So can we move on to those topics as well?
Yeah, and I think those are all kind of related to the pandemic as well. Weight loss or weight gain went through the roof, like
Right.
alcohol
Oh
use.
my gosh, yes.
People were just trying to survive the pandemic. There was so much stress involved with either a threat to an illness to themselves, or they lose a loved one, or they lose a job, or they're trapped in their house. There's so much that went along with that really took a toll on our mental health, boosted our stress. A lot of us just eat to compensate.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of people put on 15, 20 pounds, and they have a hard time getting rid of it.
Yeah,
so
we get older, it's not that easy.
That's true. You go through hormonal changes. You have the menopausal muffin top, is what I call it.
Yeah.
But there are solutions for that. So we have frequencies in the machine that are the same as what they use for lipolysis and cavitation and non-invasive lipo.
Yeah.
We also have some other amazing technology. We have an emerald laser that is FDA Class 2 approved for subcutaneous fat loss. And the only side effect is that it tightens skin.
I notice it.
That's what you want.
I notice it everywhere.
Yeah. And we also use red light therapy. We have medical grade red light, which is FDA Class 2 approved for wound healing, but also for rebooting the mitochondria. It's really good for recovery from the pandemic. Anybody that had COVID or had the vaccines, it took a toll on the mitochondria, which the mitochondria is the powerhouse inside every cell in your body. It produces ATP, it gives you all your energy. So this long haul COVID thing, people's mitochondria was down, not producing energy. Their whole energy system went down. They're not able to fight off disease, and they end up with a whole new set of diagnoses. So it's really, really important to really heal the body. So that's why we created all these regenerative solutions to actually regenerate the body.
Well, I feel better every time I go in there. It's just like mentally, my energy is through the roof compared to when I walk in there. And then the green light and the red light. So I feel like even just losing the weight from the pandemic is helping people feel better.
Oh, for sure.
Because it feels like crazy when you always knew that if you just reduce your amount of calories and exercise more that you would lose weight, but that's not really true, is it?
No, especially with high stress levels. High cortisol makes you pack on the pounds and inflammation, especially around your core.
Right? I feel it.
So stress relief, anxiety frequencies, we have everything you need to kind of calm your body, calm your mind, and then help you lose those pounds.
Well, what about if people don't live in Tri-Cities, Washington, and they want to have some of these machines in their own home gym?
So we actually have regenerative solutions for home and for businesses. So you can add it to an existing business, you can start a new business. We have a complete package that really works for your home needs, and you can have everything you need in your home wellness spa.
I love it. Well, the final question for everybody is usually, how can we be unstoppable? I mean, I started this podcast in 2020 because that was hard for me. I'm not going to lie. And it was hard for everybody. And I realized that I'm not alone.
No.
When everything was different and I had to change, and it ended up having a huge silver lining. So how can we be unstoppable in our lives?
So the first thing you really have to do is deal with you. You have to get yourself back to a place of balance. And for people, it's different. Some people it's yoga, some people it's meditation, but you have to take care of yourself and get yourself back in a place of balance, not in a place of stress. Right? Because that's the only place you can be creative. That's the only place that you can actually produce. If you have cortisol brain, which gives you brain fog all the time, you can't be powerful. You can't produce. You can't be creative. You feel stuck.
I've been there. I've been there so many times, because you get in your head and you got to get out of that amygdala hijack and back into your heart. You know, it's important to get out of your head when you're in that moment. And for me, exercise has always been there for me.
Yeah.
And even before coming here, I got on elliptical for a few minutes, and it just changed my life, because you just got to burn that energy, and I can then be creative and have fun, enjoy my life, and manifest the life that I do want, instead of being stuck in my head, completely problem focused instead of solution focused. So any final words you want to leave our audience with about being unstoppable?
Well, to her point, to your point on exercise is really important. It's a really important coping mechanism that we all need to do. Even if you don't really enjoy it, find something you enjoy. It can be walking on a bike path, it can be running, it can be anything, but you have to get moving. And that's the one thing great about the VibraGenix for people that don't like to exercise. 10 minutes equals an hour of cardio. And for all of you that don't like cardio, that is a huge, huge plus. in addition to that, if you do weights or you do resistance on the machine, you build muscle, tighten, and tone up to 50% faster. And you're making some videos for us right now doing routines on the machine, which is fantastic. Really excited about that. So everybody will have access to those.
Well, I kicked my own butt. I really felt the difference between doing a normal, like, lower body workout that I would do every single day on the machine. I was sore for days. I hate to admit it, but luckily I know how to get rid of some of that feeling in your muscles. What is that? The
lactic acid.
The lactic acid, yes.
You get on the VibraGenix and it gets rid of the lactic acid.
So there is an answer, and if you don't have the VibraGenix, you know, it's also moving. So movement helps get rid of the soreness, but oh my gosh, so much of a better workout. So Dr. Carolyn Stites, thank you so much from VibraGenix and ReGenX for being here today. It was a pleasure. And how can people find you?
Well, they can click on the link below. They can click on your link. They can look us up on the internet at VibraGenix.com.
VibraGenix.com.
There you go.
Are you on Instagram too?
We are. We're on Facebook and Instagram, everywhere.
Well, thank you for being a fabulous guest on WholeCEO with Lisa G. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure for me too. Thank you.
I want to tell you a secret. This is what I've been doing, and I'm getting amazing results. The VibraGenix machine. Let's jump on here, Dr. Caroline.
All right. So she's been using this at least 3 times a week, I think.
Yeah. When I'm in town, I love this thing. I absolutely love it. Plus the green light, plus the red light, for amazing results.
So what this really is sound frequency medicine. So it is vibration, but it is all in sound. So you're actually moving in a sine wave. There's powerful voice coils underneath your feet. All the frequencies are in sound wave format. So sound works really well because you are 70% water. Sound travels 5 times faster through water. So it literally affects every cell in your body at the same time. The other really cool thing is every 10 minutes is equal to an hour of cardio. So if you don't like cardio, do it on here. Also, you'll tighten and tone and build muscle 50% faster if you do it while you're on here. And that's because it's an increased gravitational field. It's pure linear movement. So even your light weights will feel heavier and you'll get better results. So it's really easy.
And who has time for an hour of cardio? Most people I know do not.
That's true.
I know you're busy, so let's show you how this works. Okay, can we try it?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm gonna stand right here.
All right. And you know what to do first.
Okay, well, normally I go through here for 20 minutes, so I'll just start with essentials. So what I'm going to do, let's say you want to manage some pain and do weight loss. Those are 2 goals. So I'm going to do that, and first you got to turn the machine on. And then I can go to peak performance, sports and recovery, wellness. Where would you like me to go next?
Well, what would you like to work on?
I love balancing my chakras, actually. That's something that really I'm starting to love.
Absolutely. And that is so important. Do you know why?
No, tell me.
Okay. Eastern medicine, a lot of people think is woo-woo. It is so not woo-woo.
No.
So your chakra means wheel of energy, and it goes right through your body, right through your spine, and it affects everything. So it affects spinal function. It affects all the nerves that go to all your organs. So if you have a chakra that's blocked, like your heart chakra, it'll affect your lungs.
It's my lower chakra, I found out yesterday.
Oh, your second chakra? Sacral?
Yeah, sacral.
Yeah, so that affects all the
Because I have this
female organs.
This whole type of lower back thing with the shape of my lower back, the lower dotted curve.
Yep, it'll give you back pain, but it also can lead to disorder and dysfunction in your urinary tract organs, the female organs, sex drive.
We don't want none of that.
Sex drive, all
None
of that. So you got to get that chakra open.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to go to another program in here. Where is it? There we go.
Chakra balancing.
Chakra balancing. I'm going to turn this down just for the sake of the video.
And I like to do all of them normally, so
Okay.
I'll hit all of them.
So go ahead.
One at a time. You can start to hear the frequencies in the background, and I do all of them.
Yep.
And then I'll hit the start.
I already started it for you.
Okay.
I like to hear them boot up, so I do one at a time.
Okay.
What is another favorite program? Oops, I just shut that off for you, sorry.
What's in TBSW? I think there's something in there that I do.
Yeah, so there you go. So we're going to go to TBSW.
Okay, so next we're going to TBSW, which is another tab at the top. Can you hit that for me?
Yeah. We need a stylist.
I got a doctor in the house.
And what do you like to do in TBSW?
Just the frequencies, like scalar waves and things like that.
Yeah, scalar wave is one of the fastest ways to get your cell voltage up. And cell voltage is key to the body healing itself. That's the energy inside the cell. So when the cell is energized, it pushes away from other cells, it brings in more oxygen and nutrients, gets rid of waste products, and it gets your body to a state where it can actually heal itself.
Well, let's do that.
Okay.
Who wouldn't want to do that?
So do you want to do weight loss, scalar waves?
Stress relief.
Stress relief? Okay.
I'd like to try stress relief today.
Okay. So we're going to set the time.
Okay, so we're going for 20 minutes.
Scalar waves.
Scalar waves on.
And then hit start.
I'm feeling it already. Just having you here, both of you guys. Got MJ behind the scenes filming us. And we got RJ way behind the scenes. It's nice to have community and people that are like-minded.
Yes, and you can have this in your home. This is actually my home, so I get on it every single day. My husband gets on it every single day. We actually get on the Elite, which is the bigger plate. We get on it together, which is great.
You do? That's so freaking cool. I love that.
I think it's really bonding, and we can talk about stuff. We can like stretch and massage each other, whatever it is we want to do.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't want to know all the things you can do.
All right. Anything else you want to do?
How about wellness? What do we have going on in wellness tab? We already have weight loss and pain management going in. How about essentials? We have those two here. I'll let you pick the last one.
How about inflammation? Because everybody's dealing with inflammation.
Everybody's got inflammation. It's the root of a lot of disease, isn't it?
It is. It is absolutely positively.
Yes. So let's do it. Okay. So there's different levels you can do this on. I have it on a lower level just to not make it be too loud so you can hear us.
But you can actually turn the vibration or the amplitude up in the plate.
So I'll hit start body session.
Well, I already did.
Okay.
Oh, just give it a sec. So you have to let the computer, hold on.
Okay. I'll let you do it.
You're turning it off and on and off and on and off and on. So it's a touch screen, it's pretty sensitive. And if you push start, you need to wait for a second for the computer to boot up and everything to start working.
Okay, well, I don't have any patience. I needed to know that. Now I feel that it's on.
The timer started.
Okay.
And you can have it on low, medium, high, or ultra, depending on the intensity of the workout that you want. And this will circulate through. So this goes through a full body program. 21 hertz actually targets the brainstem and the cells there to bring them back to the resonant frequency. So it'll go through and target, like this is the lung, 17 hertz. It will target all those cells and bring them back to the resonant frequency, which is really healthy. So it's really focusing on every organ, every system, every muscle group, and it does this whole body cycle to bring your body back into the place it should be.
Okay, well, there's one more thing that I wanted to ask you about. Speaking of workout, in sports and recovery, I oftentimes would like to do a core strength or a lower body. So if you want to work out and you don't have a lot of time, which is why I created my first workout video back in the day, the skinny jeans workout, shorter workouts for busy bosses. This is the answer right here. So you can work out, you can put on core strength, lower body, and like I said, when I did the actual workout on the machine, I kicked my own butt.
Yeah. That's what the weights are for.
Yeah. And you can do standing core exercises, like even if you are facing the other direction, now that we're all programmed, you can just do standing crunches like that, or side kicks, working your glutes, and squats. I'm not really in my workout gear, but just so you know, it's all happening right here on the machine. Thank you for putting me through this program.
Absolutely. Thank you for trying it. I'm glad you love it.
I love it. Can you tell I'm so passionate about this machine? This person has changed my life.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Mean it.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.